and even the New Year's party. But when I arrived, the sign on the door said, "No drama in 2025. Stay home, cash machine." I stood in silence, left one final gift on the step. And by morning, their screams said it all. I paid for their holidays, their bills, and even the New Year's party. The tickets, the hotel, the catering, the fireworks that lit up the backyard like a luxury lifestyle post on Instagram. All on me. And I didn't mind. I really didn't until I saw the sign. No drama in 2025. Stay home, cash machine. The wind nearly knocked the champagne bottle out of my hand as I stood on their front porch reading those words for the third time. I wanted to believe it was a prank, some dumb joke, but the glitter pin told a different story. Pink. Childish. Too careful to be careless. Ellie's handwriting maybe, but not Ellie's idea. It wasn't meant to be funny. It was meant to cut. Seriously. I muttered under my breath. They couldn't even say it to my face. I looked out at the silver-wrapped box in my other hand, a gift for Ellie. The science kit she'd wanted for months. Ordered in November, paid extra to make sure it arrived on time. Now it felt like a brick of regret. I crouched down, placed it gently on the step, and just stood there, still listening. From inside, warmth spilled through the curtains like golden syrup. I could hear them. "Where's the extra champagne?" Mandy's voice, sharp and entitled. "Check the kitchen," Mom replied, bright and fake. "He probably forgot it again." Laughter. Then my brother, "But he's sulking. Can't wait for another guilt speech." More laughter. Someone snorted. That one hurt more than I want to admit. I didn't knock. Didn't ring the bell. Didn't even text. I just stood there with my overnight bag, champagne still in my hand, and the full weight of a family that never really saw me, only what I could give. They didn't know I was outside. Or worse, they did. And that was the point. So I turned, walked to my car, sat down, stared at the steering wheel like it could explain what just happened. I drove home in silence. No music, no messages, no more pretending. I left the champagne unopened on the counter, turned off my phone, slept for 12 hours straight, like my body finally understood I was done. And then the morning came. So did the screams. "Where did you get that? You've lost your mind. You're so cruel. I hope you're happy now." The group chat lit up like a wildfire. Walls of texts. Blame. Panic. Rage. Calls from Mom. Missed calls from Dad. A voicemail from Mandy crying and furious, her voice cracking like she couldn't decide whether to beg or scream. I hadn't said a word. Hadn't posted a thing. Hadn't even answered the phone. All I did was stop playing the role they wrote for me just once. And apparently, that was enough to burn their perfect little fantasy down to the ground. It didn't start with the party. It started years ago quietly, like a leak in the ceiling you don't notice until the whole roof caves in. At first it was just small things. "Hey, can you cover Mandy's electric bill this month? She's a little tight after Christmas. Jacob's car broke down again. Maybe you could help with repairs? Ellie really wants to go to that STEM camp, and you know how important that is." And me? I said yes every single time. Not because I had money to burn. No. I worked a decent job, saved where I could. One vacation a year, if that. But I figured that's what you do for family, right? Until it became expected. I'd walk into the room, and their eyes would light up. Not with love. With calculation. They stopped asking if I could help. They just told me how much they needed. My sister Mandy was the worst. She used to say it with this fake little laugh like she was joking. "We should just put you on payroll, honestly. Family account extraordinaire." I'd laugh back, force it, nod, play along. But inside, something cracked every time because no one ever said thank you. Not once. Not when I paid the deposit for Jacob and Kelly's anniversary trip. The one they posted about non-stop but never tagged me in. Not when I sent money so Mom could finally get her stupid kitchen remodel, the same kitchen I wasn't allowed to cook in because I used too many spices. And definitely not when I footed the bill for New Year's Eve. Mandy wanted fireworks. Jacob wanted steak. My parents wanted string lights and a jazz band. It was over budget in the first hour. I paid. "Again, you don't have kids, so it's fine," Mandy said one night, sipping Prosecco I bought. "You probably save a ton." "Yeah." Jacob chimed in, chuckling. "You should thank us. We give your money a purpose." He thought that was funny. I laughed too. Tight-lipped. Staring down into my drink like it might tell me what I was still doing there. But the real slap came later that same night. They didn't know I heard them. I had stepped outside for a call, work stuff. And when I came back in, I stopped just short of the kitchen. Their voices carried. "He's getting weird lately," Mandy said. "Like always watching. Like he's waiting for something. Maybe he wants a medal," Mom added, dry as toast. "For doing what family is supposed to do." Then Jacob's voice, low but smug. "He should be grateful we let him in. He's basically our pet wallet." Pet wallet? I don't remember setting my glass down. I just remember walking straight past the door and right into my own personal clarity. I wasn't family to them. I was function, the cash machine, the problem solver, the background character in their golden lives. And when I stopped being useful, they'd toss me out like a burned-out light bulb. The signs had been there for years, like when Dad called me selfish, because I didn't want to pay for Ellie's private school application fee after already covering her last 3 semesters. Or when Mom snapped, "Don't be dramatic," after I asked them to please just let me skip one Christmas because I was burned out, broke, and borderline depressed. Or the time Mandy accused me of being too proud to ask for help while she drank imported wine I paid for. You know what kills a person? Not the big betrayals. It's the slow rot, the daily digs, the 1,000 tiny ways they let you know you're not one of us, but you're useful, so stay. And I stayed until that stupid glitter sign, until they labeled me like a department store gift card. No drama in 2025. Stay home, cash machine. That was the moment something snapped. Not a scream, not a scene, just silence. A silence that came after years of screaming on the inside. Because I wasn't just angry. I was done. And they didn't see it coming. 2 days after the sign incident, I got the first call. Mandy. I let it ring out. Then another. Jacob. Then Mom. Dad. Then a new number. Ellie's school? I didn't answer a single one. By evening, my phone looked like it had survived a hurricane of desperation. Missed calls. Voicemails. Messages with phrases like, "Emergency. We need to talk now. It's not what you think. Ellie's in trouble." I almost replied. Almost. But then I remembered the sound of their laughter. The clink of glasses. The way Jacob said pet wallet like it was a family inside joke. So I did nothing. That night, I opened a bottle of red, put on my favorite record, and sank into silence like it was holy. But I knew it wasn't over, not even close. The real bomb dropped the next morning. Mom showed up, uninvited, in her robe and slippers, hair wild, eyes frantic. "You have to come," she said, barging into my apartment without waiting for a yes. "Mandy's total out. Ellie. She's crying. Jacob's threatening to call the police." I blinked. "What?" "They think you hacked them." I stood up. "What are you talking about?" She shoved her phone in my face. It was open to a Facebook post. From Mandy. Public. Feeling so violated. Someone leaked our private group chat. Screenshots. Even voice clips. "If you see anything, please report it. This is a family matter." Beneath it, hundreds of comments. And there it was. A full dump. Every single message from our family's group chat. Them joking about me. Mocking me. Calling me pathetic. Calling Ellie his only investment, like she was a stock they were trading in my name. There was even audio. Jacob. Mid-laugh. "If he ever grows a backbone, we're screwed." My stomach dropped. "I didn't post this," I said. "I know," Mom whispered, suddenly pale. "But someone did. And now everything's on fire." I didn't know whether to laugh or be terrified. "Why would I post this?" I asked. "I've been silent. You people made a sign telling me to stay away." Mom finally broke. Tears welled up. "Please, just come. They're falling apart." Something in me, the part that had always said yes, stirred, but something stronger stayed firm. "No," I said. "I'm done saving people who drown me to stay afloat." She stared like I'd slapped her. Then she played her last card. "It's Ellie," she whispered. "She won't talk to anyone. Not even Mandy." I froze. Why? And then, the twist. The one I didn't see coming. Because she's the one who leaked everything. I swear the room tilted. "What?" "She overheard them mocking you," Mom said quietly. "She saw the messages. She recorded Jacob on Christmas Eve. She sent it all to your email, the one you haven't checked." I was already pulling out my phone. Logging in. There it was. Subject line, "I'm sorry, they don't deserve you. Love, E." Sent at 2:43 a.m. with every file attached. I sat down hard. All this time, I thought Ellie saw me the way they did, like a bank account with legs. Turns out, she saw everything. And she lit the match. That night, I showed up. Not for them. For her. The house was chaos. Mandy pacing, Jacob screaming into the phone, Dad red-faced in the corner. Ellie sat curled on the stairs, hugging her knees. When she saw me, she ran. Not away toward me. Full force. "I'm sorry," she whispered into my chest. "I just wanted them to stop." I held her tighter than I'd held anyone in years. Behind her, Mandy's voice sliced through the room. "You think this is funny? You think exposing us online was noble?" I turned slowly. Calm. "I didn't leak it," I said. "Your daughter did." That shut everyone up. "Maybe," I added. "You should ask yourselves why she felt like she had to." Dad opened his mouth, but for once, no words came out. Jacob glared at me. "You're still not off the hook. We needed you. You disappeared. No, I said. I finally showed up for myself. I turned to Ellie. Come on. Let's go somewhere quiet. Mandy actually lunged forward. You don't get to just take her. I'm not taking her, I said. I'm listening to her. Something none of you have done for a very long time. Ellie slipped her hand into mine. And like that, I walked out with her. 3 days. That's how long they stayed silent after I walked out of that house with Ellie. 3 days. And not a single call. Not a text. Not a sorry. Not from Mandy. Not from Jacob. Not from my parents. 3 days of nothing. But the internet? The internet didn't stay quiet. The screenshots of the group chat exploded. People made memes, reaction videos, TikToks. Someone posted the audio of Jacob calling me a pet wallet over a clip of a Monopoly game catching fire. Hashtag cash machine uncle. Hashtag no drama but lots of receipts. Hashtag glitter sign of shame. I got messages from total strangers. Some thanking me. Others sharing their own stories of being used by family. And in nearly every message, one word kept showing up, hero. But I didn't feel like one. I wasn't trying to be righteous. I just didn't want to be their ATM anymore. And on the 4th day, I did something they never saw coming. Public declaration of truth. I opened Facebook for the first time in years. The same Facebook Mandy had used to show off every luxury I had paid for beach vacations, boutique restaurants, her just because shopping halls. I wrote a post. Calm. Simple. But it hit like a sledgehammer. Since things have gone public, I'll keep it public. For years I paid for the vacations, bills, rent, schooling, gifts, champagne, and no drama parties. I was told it was family. I now know it was just manipulation with glitter pans. So let me be clear. I'm done. No more money. No more bailouts. No more covering for grown adults who mock me behind my back while cashing my support like a paycheck. If you're looking for the cash machine, try an actual bank. I'm closed. I hit post. 5 minutes, 78 likes. 10 minutes, 124 comments. 30 minutes, my phone was vibrating non-stop. It had begun. The first to crack, Mandy. She DM'd me almost immediately. Take it down. You're humiliating us. I replied without hesitation. Good. Now we're even. Next up, Jacob. You think this is funny? You've just cut off your own family. No. I wrote. I just finally stopped funding a circus where I was the clown. Then came, Mom, tears and guilt. She called, voice quivering. You know, this is all being blown out of proportion. We didn't mean it like that. We just got carried away. You called me a financial burden. That's not carried away. That's deliberate. Okay. I'm sorry. We all are. But we didn't expect you to overreact like this. It was just a joke. Then keep laughing, I said. Just don't expect me to pay for the punchline anymore. And I hung up. That's when the real broke loose. Mandy lost a brand deal. One of the lifestyle brands she partnered with issued a public statement. We do not support bullying or emotional exploitation, especially within families. Her influencer career? Dead, on arrival. Jacob had a meltdown. Apparently, Kelly found out everything. The messages, the recordings, the years of manipulation. She called me quietly one night. Her voice was soft, but tired. I always saw how they treated you. I just didn't know how deep it went. I was scared to say anything. Pause. But thank you for taking Ellie. She's the only one in this mess brave enough to tell the truth. My parents were furious and alone. Without my financial help, their golden years became gray real fast. No more monthly transfers. No more all-inclusive holidays. No more surprise checks just to help out. Their friends started asking questions. Did you really treat him that badly? Is it true what he posted? We always thought he was just the quiet one. They were humiliated. And for the first time in their lives, they had no one to blame but themselves. And just when I thought it was over, a final message came in. Anonymous. No name. No profile picture. But I knew exactly who it was. You can destroy everything, but don't think we'll forget. I smiled. I don't want you to forget. I want you to remember. Every time the bills stack up, every time you wonder where the money went, every time you pick up your phone hoping for a bailout, I want you to remember. That was the last check, the last favor, and the last year you lived off me. No fireworks, no victory parade. Just peace. I made a cup of tea, put on a quiet playlist, sat back and closed my eyes. And for the first time in years, the silence didn't feel like loneliness. It felt like freedom. I used to think silence meant failure. Like if no one called, if no one needed me, if no one begged for a favor, it meant I had no value. I confused being wanted with being used. I thought giving meant I mattered. Turns out, I was wrong. Now, silence sounds like this. Birds outside my window in the morning. The soft of my kettle as I make coffee for one. A phone that doesn't scream for help, money, or guilt. Peace isn't loud. It's not dramatic. It doesn't demand a standing ovation. Peace is waking up and realizing you don't owe anyone anything just because you're breathing. It's been a month since the fallout, since I posted the words that set the entire rotten structure on fire, since Mandy lost her little influencer empire, since Jacob lost control of the narrative, since my parents were forced to face retirement without my money cushioning their lies. And me? I moved. Small place. 1 bedroom. Clean walls. No photos of forced family dinners. No glitter signs taped to doors. No shadows breathing down my neck. For the first time in over a decade, I have my own space that doesn't feel like a waiting room for someone else's emergencies. I started doing the little things again. Cooking just for myself. Buying a plant I knew I'd actually water. Rewatching old shows I never finished because someone needed me that night. Going to bed when I wanted. Waking up with no one to impress. I started journaling again. Going on long walks without checking my phone every 5 minutes. Waiting for a crisis I'd be guilt into solving. I even took a weekend trip. Alone. No planning for 5 people. No stretching my wallet to make it look like I wasn't the only one paying. Just me. A backpack. And silence that finally felt like mine. And then came the letter. Real paper. Envelope. Stamps. Like it was 02-2003. I didn't recognize the handwriting at first. But when I opened it, I froze. Ellie, Uncle A. I don't know how to start this, so I'll just say thank you. Thank you for being the only one who ever asked me how I felt and actually listened. I heard what they said about you. I saw how they treated you. I didn't understand it at first. I just knew it felt wrong. But when you walked out, when you took me with you, that was the first time I realized I wasn't crazy for thinking our family was broken. You were the only person who didn't want anything from me. Not grades. Not appearances. Not to make them look good. Just me as I am. I want you to know I'm in therapy now. I asked Mom if I could go. She said no, of course. Said we don't need outsiders. So I talked to my school counselor instead. She helped me write this. I'm still scared sometimes, but I'm learning that I don't have to stay in places that hurt. I want to live differently because of you. Love, Ellie. I read it 3 times, then a 4th. And the 4th time I cried. Not from pain. Not from betrayal. But from something I hadn't felt in a long, long time. Being seen. Not as a utility. Not as an extension of someone else's failure. Not as a walking wallet in a button-down shirt. But as a man. A protector. A human being who deserved better, and finally chose it. I framed the letter. It hangs by my front door. Not to brag, not to remember the pain, but to remind myself of the power of walking away, and what it inspires in others. Ellie saw the fire, but she also saw what survived it. I still get messages. Distant cousins, old family friends, even my old math teacher. Did all that really happen? I always wondered why you were so quiet. I just wanted to say you were brave. And I'll be honest, sometimes I feel angry. Angry that no one saw before. Angry that I had to explode to be heard. But then I remember, they weren't supposed to hear me. Not really. I wasn't yelling for them. I was yelling for me. Some nights, I hear their voices in my head. Jacob's smug, you should be grateful. Mandy's sharp little digs. Mom's sighs, loaded with guilt. Dad's cold stares when I dared to say I was tired. Ghosts. Just ghosts now. And ghosts don't pay rent. Let me be clear, in case they're still watching. In case anyone out there still thinks they can twist the narrative. In case some distant relative wants to play devil's advocate. I'm not your emergency fund. I'm not your therapist. I'm not your backup parent. I'm not your ego pacifier. And I am not your wallet. I am a person. And I finally chose myself. So go ahead. Keep telling your side of the story. Call me dramatic. Call me cold. Call me selfish. Because for the first time in my life, I am selfish. And you know what? It feels amazing. I didn't lose my family. They lost their wallet. But I found my freedom, my voice, my life, and I'm never giving it back.
Thank you for watching. Like, share and follow.